Hi guys, I'm here with another video for you. It is a walkthrough of the Lo Scarabeo After Tarot. I've actually had this deck. This was my very first tarot deck ever. First deck. So it's very special and near and dear to my heart. And I actually haven't seen that many reviews about it or walkthroughs on YouTube or really a lot of the social media, and I don't really know why. I really do. I mean, I guess I can understand it's not the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith system that you're used to. I mean, this is definitely a Rider-Waite system base, but it is the tarot for one moment after. So basically what this is it takes the tarot cards that we know, the traditional Rider-Waite system, and it says what will happen to the arcana you know one moment in the future. So it says most of us are familiar with tarot card images. They become part of our collective wisdom, snapshots in time, frozen in place, permanent and unchanging. But the river of time is constantly flowing, and the tarot cards we're used to seeing don't tell the whole story. The fool doesn't stand on the cliff forever. So I find that was a very, very powerful and unique. I find that was a very unique statement and very, very powerful. When I was first looking at buying a tarot deck for myself, I definitely wanted to start with the Rider-Waite-Smith system because that was what I was familiar with seeing and what I've had experience with in the past. But I wasn't necessarily drawn to the card decks that had that system. I didn't really like some of the colorations and some of the, I mean, the imagery is pretty much the same. There is differences. So I wasn't just, the colorations, it just didn't really go well with me. Although I do appreciate the Rider-Waite-Smith system, the traditional cards and the colorations, but I wanted something that was a little bit more deeper and richer in tone. So I found this deck at Barnes & Noble, and I didn't really know much about it because, like I said, when I was researching decks to buy for myself for the first time, I didn't really see much about this deck at all. And it kind of intrigued me because, I mean, it looks amazing, right? The After Tarot. So I had to look at the back, and I just saw the images that they have here. And I was like, ooh, you know what? I really like the colorations of this deck, and I really like, you know, the images here as well. And it doesn't shy completely away from the Rider-Waite system, which is what I wanted to start learning with. So I thought, you know what? I'll go ahead and pick it up. So I got it at Barnes & Noble, and it's Lo Scarabeo. The box is amazing. I mean, I've had this for over 1.5 years, 2 years. This is my very first deck, like I said. And this deck is very near to me, I think, because of that reason. It was my first deck. I loved the images. I love the colors. It's just beautiful. So let's take a look. We're going to walk through the inside of the box and then all the cards so you guys can see for yourself. And then hopefully, if you're interested, then you can pick one up. So let's take a look inside. The box is gorgeous. I mean, can we just say wow? Right when you open it, you're positioned to the Moon card. I mean, this is just a gorgeous box. And then you have your Afterthoughts, the Guide to the After Tarot by Corinne Kenner. This is a very good book. It doesn't have images of all the cards, you know, per page. It breaks it down by the numbers. So for instance, card descriptions. So it breaks it down by the numbers. So you have 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s. So that's interesting. That's an interesting way for the guidebook to break it down. And then it starts with the Fool and the Happy Wanderer. Actually, this is the only one I think that has its own kind of well, I mean, they all kind of have a description about the card, and they like I said, they lump them by the numerical, the numbers, so the ones, the starting point. It is a colored book. It's very nice. The paper is very good quality. It's very smooth. It has 160 pages. It does have spreads in here. It goes through, like I said, the different meanings of the cards, as well as the history of tarot and the basics, major arcana, minor arcana, the 4 suits. So it's, you know, it's a good book. Can we just talk about these backs? Oh, aren't those gorgeous? So, like I said, this box has been opened. I've been using these decks for a very long time. It's my first deck, but so isn't that gorgeous? Initially, I had no idea that this was the backs of the cards, and the second I saw them, I fell in love. I just love this. I just love it. It's just beautiful. It's a nice size. It's not too big, not too small. Fits very good in the hand. And it's a thick deck. It's a thick deck. The cardstock is really, really good. Really good. It's a low Scarabeo, so usually they have good cardstock. It's smooth. It's a little shiny. It's not sticky. Like sometimes the really shiny cards can stick together. This doesn't really stick. And I've had it for over 1.5 years, 2 years, and it's been used pretty heavily, and it's still in very good shape. So I've pretty much put them in order. I reordered them from the Fool, and then the suits may not be in like order as far as like what comes first. Is it swords, pentacles, whatever, but I just put them in order so you could get the gist of it. So let's start with the Fool. Again, the purpose of this deck is the moment after. So this is taking the traditional artwork and the Rider-Waite system and showing you the moments or the snapshots after you see the Fool on the cliff per se. So here we have the Fool, and he is now fallen off the cliff, but he's, you know, still, you know, pleasantly there. He's smelling the beautiful white flower. His bag has fallen. He's barely gripping to life, but he's just loving it. He's loving it. Here we have the Magician. Looks like he may have created this dove or something, because I don't really remember there being a dove in the traditional Rider-Waite Smith artwork. The High Priestess. The Empress. You have the swan and the little baby swans there on the bottom of her feet. The Emperor. Look at that ram just sitting there at his feet. The Hierophant. So now there's these 2 keys on the bottom of the Hierophant. The Lovers, reaching for that apple. The Chariot. Strength. I love this Strength card. I mean, doesn't that, it's just so beautiful. They're in this embrace. This lion has this beautifully serene facial expression. Just gorgeous. The Hermit. I love this Hermit card. I love the colorations. I love this black, what it looks like, a black dog with the Hermit. It's just, it's gorgeous. The Wheel of Fortune. Justice. Here we have what looks like a king or queen and a peasant side by side. The Hanged Man. Now, traditionally, the hanged man, there's only the hanged man, but here you have a woman that is on her knees and she looks to be giving him water. Death. I love the death cards. Usually the death and the devil cards are what I'm more drawn to in decks. This is definitely more of a traditional death card. Temperance. The devil. Tower card. So here you see, usually in the tower, you see them falling. Here they've fallen and they're lying on the ground. Star card. Isn't that beautiful, this star card? Gorgeous. Moon. So in this moon card, you actually have a woman. She's, you know, cloaked and she's walking towards the dogs. And I believe that's a lobster. Yes, walking towards them. I like this. The sun. Isn't this cute? It's just so playful. Judgment. And the World. Okay, so now we're going into the minor arcana, and here we have the Ace of Cups. Isn't that beautiful? This Ace of Cups is beautiful. Not only do you have the cup with the water spilling out, but you have this hand that's coming out of this cloud holding a heart. And this beautiful white dove. The aces are probably one of my favorite parts of this deck. Here we have the Two of Cups. They're in an embrace. Three of Cups. Oops, Three of Cups. Yeah, Four of Cups. Five of Cups. I love the colors of this deck. They're a little bit more muted, a little bit more richer. Definitely not as bright. I mean, there are some bright cards, but it's not as bright as the other Rider-Waite-Smith card decks. Six of Cups. Seven of Cups. See, now here he's taken some of the options that were given to him in those cups. Eight of Cups. Nine of Cups. And the Ten of Cups. We have our Page. Knight. Queen. And our King. So here we have the Ace of Pentacles, and then we have the same thing as the Ace of Cups, where you have a hand, and then instead you have a beetle. I believe that's a beetle. It's beautiful colors. Two of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. I love this card. I love this man. Looks like a king sitting on his well, I don't know if it's a throne, but he's sitting and he's holding on to his Four of Pentacles. And then you have what looks like the Grim Reaper behind him, and he's just holding tight still. He's holding tight to those pentacles. Five. Six. Seven of Pentacles. Eight. Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, a glove. She's taken off her glove. And she's getting in there. And we have our 10 of Pentacles. Page. Knight. Look at him on his big black steed. Queen. And our king. Look at that king, right? Look at that. He's holding the pentacle on top of this bull's head. Ace of Swords. Now this is one of my favorite cards. I love it for so many reasons. I love the coloration. I love the symbolism of it. It's just beautiful. This bird has been temporarily blinded. Two of Swords. Three of Swords. Now I like this version of the Three of Swords because traditionally you see the swords that are sticking into the heart, but here you have the swords that have already been out, and this heart has been bandaged. Still, you know, hurt and bleeding, but it's there and it's surviving, and it's lived through the ordeal. Really like this. Four of Swords. Five of Swords. Six of Swords. Seven of Swords. You gotta be careful where you're looking and walking. Eight. He's cutting her free. The 9. Look at that. He's ready though. He's ready. And the 10. 10 of Swords. We have our Page of Swords. Knight. Our Queen. Look at that. On the very tip of her sword, there's a butterfly that has just landed and is just resting there. And our King of Swords. You have a sword here that is piercing a crown. And then we have our Ace of Wands. Isn't that beautiful too? Oh, I just love the aces. I really love the aces in this deck. Our Two of Wands. Now you have this woman here, and they're together and they're holding this world in their hands. Our Three of Wands. He's just released this, I believe it's a hawk. Four of Wands. Five of Wands. Our Six of Wands. Our Seven of Wands. Rise above. Eight of Wands. Traditionally, you just, see the wands. They're, moving in unison. But here you have an archer who's getting ready to shoot this arrow. Our Nine of Wands. Both bruised up and bloodied here. And our Ten of Wands. We have our Page. Our Knight of Wands. I apologize if you hear that. That's our friendly local coyotes that we have come out at night. So you're probably going to hear them because they're quite loud. And they actually come really, really close to us, to our houses and stuff. It's kind of scary with animals and stuff, but... Our Queen of Wands. I'm actually going to close that because they're going to get louder than that. And then finally we have our King of Wands. And he's holding, I think that was like a newt or a lizard. He's holding in the palm of his hand. So yeah, that's the After Tarot. I mean, I just love this deck. Like I said, this is my first deck, so maybe I'm kind of biased towards it, but I really think that it should be out there a little bit more because I really feel, that it has a lot to offer. It still has the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, symbolism in it. It's just portraying the moments after. So yeah, this is a very, very, very good deck. I really enjoy it. I'm going to link below where you guys can find it. I think you can get it on Amazon. So I'll link that below and hopefully you guys will be able to get it. If you have any questions about the deck or you guys have the deck already, let me know how you guys like it. And yeah, hope to see you guys soon. Bye.